Hi, I'm Glenn Whipp with the Los Angeles Times. Joining us today from the HBO ensemble comedy Veep, we have one of the cast members.
It's Tony Hale.
It's Tony Hale.
He's a humanitarian.
He's a humanitarian.
He's a fantastic person.
A fantastic person.
And he's an amazing artist. He's amazing.
Amazing artist. Yes, yes. Mr. Tony Hale.
Hello!
Thanks for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I really like your guys' new setup.
Thank
I
you.
don't know if it's new, but it's been new since I've been here. It's very nice.
Since last year, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you, when you're filming Veep, do you ever mess with Julia Louis-Dreyfus in the whispering the ear segments, or is that just not something to be done?
You mean kind of off? Just
Nah, I don't know how many takes you do of a particular thing.
I think what's so really fun about this show is we have a lot of rehearsrsal time. So it's a time where we can, like, if we have this scene where the writers work very hard on kind of the structure, and we've been given the structure, and then we have this play time where we just kind of say, okay, what can we do here, and what's a good bit we can do here, and oh, maybe I can whisper something to you here. And so it's a real, and the writers are not, they work so hard, but they hand it to us, and they're not so precious with it. So they're open to whatever ideas we have. So that's a huge gift.
Are you always up for a little whispering in her
Always.
ear? Yeah.
Always. And I'm closest in proximity to her. So I hear even like little grunts she does or something small. And of course, then I break up and laugh and ruin the take, and it's awful. Very unprofessional.
So then you got to go back again.
Yeah. And I have to apologize.
Gary.
Or maybe it's just Tony.
But
What?
you did at the Emmys last year.
Oh, yeah.
The great bit with Julia, which she had called you in the morning.
Yeah, she called me in the morning. And she called me and she said, I'm thinking that if I were to win, I'd like for you to come up and carry my purse. And so, and of course I'm like, yeah, I'm game for that. Let's do it. And then right when I hung up, it was like, oh, this could blow up in our faces. This could be a huge disaster. But
even after all the working together, you would think that.
Yeah, because it's live, and you never know if because I mean we've all been in things where we think, oh, this is really going to be fun, and then it doesn't work out the way you think it's going to work out. So you kind of take a risk. But I think we had a great time, and I think it worked. And I mean, the thing about her is you throw the ball, and you just know the ball's going to be thrown back to you. So there's a real trust, which is nice, really nice.
And had you worked out any of the things you do? Because she's very precise with her comedy.
And we had talked about the idea that she would forget to thank her family, and I would remind her of that. And then the idea that she would forget to thank me, who's standing right behind her. So, that we had played with that idea.
And we were just talking about that, and I was telling you that I kind of loved the expression on your face, because it's just so Gary. It was like momentarily hurt, like, really? You're not going? But then he bounces back so quickly.
Yeah, Gary has this amazing ability, unhealthy ability, to be completely abused and then just bounce back like it's never happened. Yeah. Like he just never heard it, doesn't know what's going on, and just it's like it's wiped clean from his memory.
But he pretty much would need that ability to function in this job.
He would need
that
extreme unhealthy codependency to function in his job.
Yeah. Was doing that with Julia a little less nerve-wracking after you'd already been up on stage and won the Emmy?
I was
because that was the hard part, right?
Yeah, I was in such a fog of winning that, I mean, when they called my name, everything I just kind of lifted above my body and then was watching that whole thing, and it was so crazy exciting. But I remember getting off stage and thinking, if she were to win, then we'd planned this bit. So I just kind of got right back into, so it was a nice, because I was in such daze land that it was nice kind of getting back to reality.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was fun.
I was seeing a quote from you where you're saying that they announced your name.
Yes.
But you didn't really know for sure until you looked at your wife's face.
Until I looked at my wife, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I saw her shocked face, and I was like, oh. And then I just think I'm surprised I didn't pass out, because then it just kind of levitated above on the stage, and Man, that was an awesome night. It was a really awesome night.
You didn't get to bed until 5:30.
I didn't get to bed. I literally didn't get bed until 5:30 because we got home around 12:30, and I was so buzzing from what just happened. I just laid in bed and just stared at the ceiling. I didn't know what was happening, and then I finally fell asleep at 5.
So you're saying you got to bed before?
Oh yeah, I got to bed at 1. Got to bed at 1, and just stared. I just didn't know what was going on, and then I fell asleep.
I was waiting for all these stories about what you did between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. Oh, yeah. I went to one party and then the next, and
we went to we went to the HBO party, which was so fun because we saw the cast and just we were all just so excited, and my wife was. It was just so fun, and so that was a blast. And then got home and everything gets still. Because it's kind of everything's chaos and everything gets still, and then I just didn't know what to do with these emotions.
Yeah.
And that's where I was just like staring at the ceiling. But, that's awesome.
Nominated again this year.
Isn't that crazy?
You didn't whisper that, and I'm surprised you left that out in the introduction. But modesty. I appreciate that. I feel like talking about this 3rd season, I need to say. Spoilers if you haven't watched Veep.
Oh yeah.
Because
there's a big spoiler.
There's a big spoiler. Yeah. In fact, I saw a picture revealing it before I had watched the episode.
Oh, you did?
Thanks, internet. But that's okay.
Interwebs. Sorry about that.
But okay, we've made sufficiently clear that we're going to talk about it.
Oh yes.
Was that a surprise to you? That yes. 9th episode?
Well, they had talked about it probably sometime in the fall, saying we are. Well, actually, it was probably before the fall. It was probably like September. Right, that's fall. But they were talking about we're thinking of her becoming president, and we all just got so excited because Selena's a disaster. She's a mess. And the fact that the country is being run by her, it's just like one comic opportunity after the next. Yeah. So we were pretty excited about it.
It happened pretty quickly after she was sworn in. Yeah. I mean, even before she was sworn in, she's misidentifying somebody she wants fired.
And the best was she's doing her oath with the guy. And Mike McClintock, who's played by Matt Walsh, accidentally bumps into a lamp. So she stops her oath a little bit and then continues it, but she misses a word. So she has to go back and do the oath again because of, crazy Mike.
I love that. Yeah, the mishaps began immediately.
They just never stopped.
So that's kind of where the next season will be going.
Is her in office, which isn't that terrifying. But of course, in Gary's world, in my world, that's just my nirvana. That's my woman is finally getting the recognition she deserves. So I'm just like, well, of course she arrived. She should have been here the whole time.
You had saved a pair of shoes.
I saved. So special. This is when it gets into kind of Hannibal Lecter material. I had saved a pair of shoes that I guess I think in the scene I say we bought in New York a few years back, and I put them in a very special place in my house if this day were ever to arrive, which in my heart of hearts, I knew this was going to happen. So I had saved this pair of shoes, and so right before her speech to the nation, I bring out these crazy shoes, which I'm surprised they weren't like wrapped in skin or something, because it was so weird to begin with. And I'm just so excited, and I place them on her feet, and she says to me, "Oh, Gary," because she's kind of weirded out. She's like, "Oh, it's just like you're Prince Charming." And my face was just like, I've been waiting for those words to come out of her mouth for my entire life.
So you held on to those feet for. Yes. She had to kind of shake loose there.
And unfortunately, when she's walking to give her speech, they're squeaking horribly.
Yeah, like dog toys.
Like dog toys. Like she's walking on dog toys. And I think somebody says it's like a rat of mice just like underneath her feet. And so Gary ends up destroying her entire speech.
That moment, the
You're welcome,
Twitter
Selena.
Goes wild, so clearly she never road tested those shoes.
She never road tested them because she does trust Gary. She is, and they've been obviously they were brand new. She never wore them, so Gary screwed up again. And Gary, there's a scene where he goes off to the side and just destroys himself because he should have had friends test them. He should have probably taken to like all these warehouses and have people walk them to make sure they don't squeak. He totally screwed up.
Yeah.
Again, just abusing himself constantly.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about those last 2 episodes of the season, the roller coaster.
Oh yeah. Yes.
From
yes.
Oh, the phone, the tape recording being left, and so she's just destroyed.
Yes.
And she goes off on the staff.
Off.
Losers. Loser.
Calls me a loser.
Yes.
Calls Gary a loser, which was just somebody stuck a sword in my heart.
Yeah.
I mean, that was awful. Awful.
Yeah. He doesn't have the armor that some of the other characters have.
I don't think he has any armor. I don't.
It's a thin layer of cellophane.
He is the armor of about a 5-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah. But then 5 minutes later.
And 5 minutes later, something happens to the the president's wife, and so he has to step down. And Selena is then promoted to president, and we're winners. And she tells me, and you learn something about Gary. You learn that when he gets excited, his nose starts bleeding. And bad. And then it turns into a True Blood episode.
Yeah.
Where it's just everywhere.
Well, that's. I mean, that episode has so many great moments.
It was
and
so
it's
fun.
the one that you've submitted as your Emmy episode.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that scene, there, Selena finds out that she's going to be president.
Mm-hmm.
She goes to the bathroom.
Yes.
It's like this industrial bathroom. It's not, but she goes to the bathroom just to compose herself for a moment.
Yeah.
Kind of revel in it a bit, and you follow her in.
I follow because I'm concerned that something's off.
You're listening at the door.
I'm listening at the door.
And then we find out that Gary, when he gets excited, there's a lot of blood coming. How did they do that?
Well, I remember they just had me kind of tip my. Well, first of all, I can bleed on cue. I mean, let's be honest.
That's a skill that's never come out before.
It's a skill set, kids.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people can do that. I can do that. No, they put.
So Emmy voters take note. It's not just the comedy; it's this.
I can bleed on cue.
Yes.
But they put the blood in my nose, and then right before it started, because there's this moment.
They put the blood in your nose, like a dropper or something.
Like a dropper. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And they
That's weird.
Yeah. My favorite though was right before that, the line where she goes, "Gary, I'm going to be president," and Gary's like, "Of course you are.
Yeah.
Of course you are. There's always hope, sweetie. There's always hope." And then of course she tells him the news, and he pretty much loses his mind.
Yeah. It's
literally. Yeah.
Yes.
That was so fun.
Yeah, because you're I mean the two of you. I mean, you guys have had a lot of great scenes together. But that one with you're trying to contort yourself to keep the blood inside your nose.
And I don't.
She's looking through your bag trying to find something, and she's just in this giddy moment.
And there's things in my bag that, I mean, what she pulls out of the bag, a magnifying glass. Don't know what that means. A book on bicycles. Her feminine hygiene products,
which would have worked.
Yeah, which totally. Gary's got all that.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised. I was surprised by the magnifying glass. I don't know why Gary has a magnifying glass in his, and I don't know why he has a. I guess he's a bicycle fanatic.
If this was like Breaking Bad, they'd be saving these details, and then there'd be like payoff in coming seasons. We'd find out.
I'm going to be doing a triathlon in the next season.
Right. Was there? So that just looked like the funnest episode.
It was so fun, and when you're given that kind of, and I call them gifts, because when you're given that kind of a gift from a writer, you just know that you can go crazy, and you can just play. And then when you're allowed to do it with someone like Julie Louis-Dreyfus, it's like, oh, that's growing up as an actor, you dream of those moments, So I mean, to have that kind of a gift is really exciting.
Now it looks like on your off time, I came across this video on YouTube, Lady Antebellum.
Oh, yeah.
Country music, kind of a poppy country music. Were you a fan of? Were they a fan of you? How did you guys get together
it worked
to
out
make this video?
That my friend Shane Drake was directing their video.
Okay.
And he said, "Hey, I'm doing this video with Lady Antebellum. I know their music, and I like it. We're from the South, so we all country music." And he said, "It's called Bartender," and I'm thinking you can play the bartender. And so he told me about the idea, and I was like, "That sounds fun." He gave me a full neck tat, neck tattoo right here, which, you know, my kind of characters typically don't have.
That's the first time you've had a
tattoo. Yeah. I think that's officially the first time I've ever had any kind of body ink in a character.
Did you make use of that late after the shoot?
No, I should have. Yeah, I should have. Just like I should have walked out with all that blood on me. After just really freak people out.
Right.
And then it was just fun. It was.
Did they mention who you'd be serving?
They told me I was going to be serving Kate Upton. Love the lovely Kate Upton, and that was really fun. And you know, music videos I think are really fun because I like to dance, and they just kind of play the song, you know, on playback, and it's over and over and over, and you can just kind of go crazy.
Yeah.
And so, and I was this kind of crazy bartender who's serving her up drinks, and I'm, you know, and I have no bartending skills. I'm not.
I was going to ask, coming up as an actor, did you do any?
I mainly cater waitered, where I loved cater waitering actually, because you set up these crazy parties, and then you just had to serve the food to people, and if they were pissed off about the food, you're like, sorry, that's all we got.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But bartending, I never really learned. So actually, a lot of the crew were teaching me how to pour a shot that day. There was one time I was blindfolded, and I had to do these shots, and so I don't know. That's just it was a day. We shot it in a day.
Yeah,
it was just a blast.
You're throwing olives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like I'm really good at it.
Well, that's the magic of the cutting, right?
Yes, exactly.
So
Thank you, editor.
But you're saying, as a fallback career, probably not.
No. That would not be good.
So that's one thing you've done on your break from Veep.
Yeah, but I'm doing also this children's book that's coming out in August.
Oh yeah.
So that's really exciting. It's called Archibald's Next Big Thing, and it talks about how, you know, as an actor, I always get asked, and I ask people kind of what's next, what's happening next. But I think I get so focused on the next adventure, I miss the adventure I'm on. And so I thought, oh, that's something I kind of like to talk to with my daughter. Like, as much as we're excited about the next thing, hey, where are we now? Like, what's going on now? And so it's about a little chicken who's always looking to his next big thing. He goes on these crazy adventures. He's always looking to his next big thing on each adventure. And in the end, because of this companion bee named Bee, he realizes that there's big and beautiful things right here, because the bee's like, you got to just be, man. You got to just be. So it's really
very zen, man.
It is, but it's something I'm not good at.
Yeah,
I'm not good at it at all.
No one's good at it.
And my friend said to me, you have to wake yourself up 100 times a day to where you are. And I'm like, wow, I love things like that. You know, so I'm going to be reading this book every night of my life. Archibald. His name's Archibald.
Yeah.
He's a little chicken. He's a little bald, so Archibald.
So you did the what's the age? What's the?
That's a good question.
It sounds like obviously all ages.
43.
Yes.
But
I mean, what is it? It's a picture book.
It's a total picture book. I'd say probably like 3 to 8 is a really good range. And it's just, and my friend Tony Biagni wrote it with me, and he's in St. Louis. And then my other friend Victor Huckabee and Misty Manley illustrated it.
Nice.
And it was such a fun process. I've never done that before. I mean, you guys are the talented writers, and I'm learning. And we wrote it together and just came up with ideas. And there's a whale in there named Ronald Spoutfly, who does art out of it. He does fountain art out of his spout. And Archibald's looking at this gorgeous fountain art, and he's like, oh, I gotta take a picture. And Ronald says, hey, blink and take a picture with your mind instead. So just fun stuff like that. It was just such a fun process.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. So
anyways, I get excited.
Don't be on your phone and constantly taking the.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's just like I do that when I'm even in the midst of chaos of this business. I find myself just constantly like, I got to keep, and not that thinking next is wrong or anything like that, but it's a balance. It's really a balance of kind of where am I now, you know.
And you took
like the Emmys, for instance.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm ever not excited about getting an Emmy nomination, like somebody else needs to get the nomination, because that's crazy exciting, and I need to wake myself up constantly to like, it is, and I still am just like I think I'm overwhelmed by it.
Yeah, especially now these days when there's so many good TV shows on.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I love the show I'm on, and I really love the character, but to be recognized in that kind of a list, like Fred Armisen on Portlandia, man, it's like all those, like Ty Burrell, Jesse Teller Ferguson, all those guys. It's like
Andre Braugher.
Andre Braugher, yes. I mean,
he was in on Monday, and he's an intense guy.
Oh, is he?
Well, I've never met him. Funny too, but
yeah.
I mean,
I'm excited about meeting these.
Juilliard trained actor.
Oh, I'm sure.
And yeah. I mean, and from your show, I mean, or from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you could have so many talented people. I mean, that are just funny and all
really, I mean, exactly.
So stay excited.
I'm very,
because it could end very quickly.
But it can. It totally can.
Yeah.
And that's what, I mean, anything can. It's like, I gotta wake myself up to where I am, because it is crazy exciting.
Now you have an 8-year-old daughter, you mentioned.
I do have an 8-year-old daughter.
And you guys took a vacation this year, I understand. You went on a cruise, a Disney cruise.
We did. I like that you did. I love it.
Well, I heard that, I saw you on Letterman.
That's right, yeah.
And you were about to go on the cruise. So I was kind of curious.
Thank you.
How that whole thing went.
Great, because I love a cruise. And it kind of...
Not your first one.
I went on one a while back. And I will say I loved it. Anyways, I loved it, and because the fact is, I love an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that it feels free.
Yeah. You're not thinking that you've already put the thing on your visa.
You pay the money up front.
Yeah.
And so you're feeling like the whole time, like, wow, you're giving this to me?
Yeah.
That's so nice. So I love that kind of idea. And I love, because Loy, my daughter, we went with some friends, our friends the Geyers, and they have 2 kids and one of them is my daughter's age. So the kids, and there's so much activity on the Disney cruise. So anyways, we had a great time.
Yeah.
We had a great time.
Was Frozen just like over the top huge?
Yeah, there was a lot of Frozen stuff.
Yeah.
But I will say, after a few days, I like my good limit is like a good 4-dayer. And then I'm kind of like, people who can do a 2-week cruise, that's a lot. That would be a lot for me.
Right.
I like 4 days, and then I'd get back on land.
Because for you, a cruise is really about the buffet, the cruise, the ship, but you don't really necessarily want to get off.
No.
It's not about the destination. It's just...
Why? There's a food court right here. I'm just going to hang out here. It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And I love a mall, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll just stay right in the mall.
Yeah.
I don't need to see sunshine.
What was the best thing about the buffet? What was the...
oh, my gosh. What was the best thing about the buffet?
Is there like a chocolate river kind of thing?
There was a chocolate fountain.
Chocolate fountain. I haven't been on a cruise, so I'm trying.
Oh, no. I could talk about food for a very long time. What was in the buffet? It's the choices element of it that is just kind of fun.
Yeah.
And they also have these, doing a full-on advertisement for the Disney cruise.
We haven't, we just did, I guess. We haven't mentioned the cruise line yet.
You also go, you also go to, they have like buffets, but then you also go to these restaurants. We're talking about, they also go to these restaurants, and you're given a menu.
Yeah. And
you can say, I'd like this, and I'd like this, and I'd like this. And there's no check in the end.
Yeah.
That's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kidding.
And then like serious workout when you get home.
Or not.
Or not. Or, yeah.
Or I should be.
You're looking fine.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And one other thing we were talking about before we went live, and I was just telling you how I love...
that's right, we're live. Hi, guys.
Was in your acceptance speech.
Yes.
Like right at the end, you mentioned this theater group. Did you grow up in Tallahassee, or you were just...
I did. I grew up in... my dad was in the Army, so I was an Army brat. And then in the 7th grade, we moved to Tallahassee, Florida, and he retired and started working for the state. And my parents, by the grace of God, signed me up for this theater company called Young Actors Theater in Tallahassee, Florida. And I was a kid that I think they were trying to figure out what my likes were and stuff. And it just completely resonated with me. I loved the theater. I loved the environment. I loved the people. And I'm such an advocate for arts in the school or a program like that, because people like Tina Williams, who created that theater, have made such a big difference in my life. And even if you don't go into theater, like I went into it acting full-time, even if you don't, personalities like me need that environment to figure out who they are, what they like to do, all that kind of stuff. And so that environment is crucial for certain personalities.
Were you a little bit shy? Or just a little bit?
I was kind of I would say I was a little just kind of spastic.
Yeah.
You know? Surprise, surprise. And
so you found an outlet for it.
Yeah, so it was an
right.
outlet. And it was, but then I think there were also really shy kids that needed the arts to kind of draw them out.
Sure.
You know? I was pretty drawn out
to begin with,
but
so
it was
you helped those kids.
Yeah, I helped the kids, but it was more of just kind of focusing those energies, you know, and just having that outlet to really express it.
Yeah.
So I just think it's so important.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming back.
Oh, dude, by fast. Thanks for having me.
Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
I expect to see you again next year, despite the competition and stuff.
We'll see. We'll see.
A lot of opportunities for just crazy, like you said, on this upcoming season.
Oh man, she's gonna be president. What?
Are they gonna change the name of the show?
Oh, that's a great. I don't know. When all the events come up, I'm gonna ask Armando.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about that. But I mean, she still seems like the Veep. She's still, I mean,
yeah, exactly.
So in spirit, the title fits.
There's going to be a lot of breakdowns. And I'm going to be right beside her.
Yeah.
The medication is going to be upped. So it'll be fun.
All right. Well, for more of these interviews, Emmy chats, and television coverage, please go to latimes.com. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.